If you're interested in flipback art, what it is, what it's all about, I will have a link to my flipback art 101 video along with my playlist of flipback art videos. In addition, my Flippie Fanique videos. Now, if you ordered my Christmas daily kit, I'm doing an add-on. I am adding on enough Flippies along with the magnets to create a similar project. Now we're making the same version that you saw in the video. And to get started, I'm using a piece of acrylic as my work surface. And I've done some prep work. You see that I have some cardstock already stamped, already in my Flippies. Now for this project, you are going to need a total of 9 Flippies. 2 of your Flippies are going to hold your magnets, and I'll show you how to create that. But my prep work that I've done, I've taken my cardstock, I've cut it down to maybe 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch smaller than the actual Flippy. I've rounded my corners and I've stamped on both sides. Now, because this is an explosion, I don't pay attention to the orientation of my stamps because with an explosion, it explodes in every direction. So I wanted my images and my phrases to do such as well. Now, what you're going to do, this is my starter Flippy, and if you could tell, I have 2 pieces of cardstock in this Flippy because the starter Flippy is going to hold my magnet. So I already have this magnet one created. Let me show you how I will create the other magnet Flippy. To create my sandwich for my magnet, I need 2 pieces of cardstock. I know I want to have this image facing me. What I'm going to do is take a magnet, and I'll have a link to where I purchased these mini magnets from. And you're going to need, excuse me, you're going to need pop dots. I'm using the pop dots I got from Tuesday Morning, and they actually got in some additional sizes. These are the mini pop dots here. I'm going to turn this one over, place my magnet right in the center of the cardstock, and then I need to add another pop dot there, and sandwich the magnet between the 2 pieces of cardstock. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to test this out to make sure it works, and it does. So I will put this back in my Flippy, and there I have it. Now I really recommend that you do all your stamping and decorating your cardstock before you assemble your explosion Flippy, because you don't want to have to take your cardstock out and add it in, because you risk tearing your sides. And depending on what brand of bags you use, some bags may actually tear easy. I'm using bags by the company Klub bags, and I'm very pleased with the quality of their bags. So I'm taking my starter Flippy, and this Flippy has the magnet in it. I'm going to place it down, and the rest is just, it's easy. I've already removed the adhesive liner from this Flippy, and all your Flippies you are going to apply with the adhesive face up. And it's all about positioning one Flippy under the other. You can't see it here, but this is the pocket area of the Flippy. I'm going to position the starter Flippy right on top, but leave a little bit of opening in this Flippy here. And as you can see, it still folds. So I'll take another Flippy. I'll take this one here. I've removed my liner already. Remember, adhesive face up, and do the very same thing. Now I normally start with this center starter Flippy, and then I do the sides, and then I'll do the one down here. Now it probably don't matter the order, but that's just how I do it. Okay, so I'm going to remove the adhesive off of this one and do the same thing. Position it under, but I want to leave, actually I didn't position this one further enough. I want to cover up all of this area here. just leaving the opening. If I wanted to, I can remove this cardstock out of either one of my pockets. You don't want to do it because it's a tight removal, and once again you risk tearing the sides of your flippies. So that's how it looks. Now if you wanted to, you could stop right here. But we are going to make the flippy seen in the video, so I am going to continue on. Now, I'm going to save this one. So remember, this is my magnetized flippy. I'm going to save this one for last. So let's remove the liner off of this one. And the same thing. That's so cute. Smile, God loves you. Just line it up. Test it to see if it closes, and it does. Okay, then let's take this one. And let's add this one to this side. It closes. Okay, let's take this one and add this one to this side. Remember, adhesive face up. And this one is too close, so let me spread it out. What's great about these clear bags, you can attach and retach, and it'll still adhere. I'm at a weird angle, so that's why that one's not closing. My gap here is kind of wide, but I'm going to leave it because I think it'll work. Okay, you can see that gap there is wider than any of the other gaps that I have. So far I have two flippies in every direction except this direction here. I have my magnetized flippy here and here. So if I wanted to add additional layers, I want to make sure my magnetized is the last one in this row going down, and it's the one that's in the center, which I call my starter flippy. So before we finish, let's play around with the flippy just to make sure it will close correctly. So everything's folding right, but I want to make sure my magnet is going to magnetize. Sometimes you have to play around with it. Now I know it works because it's done it before, but I'm showing this to you because you might encounter this problem where it just don't want to magnetize. Okay, so I know that this works, but obviously I don't have my magnets aligned correctly. I know it works because off camera I was able to close it all and it worked, but it shouldn't be so fussy. So what I might do is move this magnet over here a little bit. I want to add another pop dot there. If you want to, you could add 2 magnets, but I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so now let's try it. Okay, so that's better because it's really easy if you position your magnet in the right way. Okay, and there you go. You see how easy that worked. So if you have a problem with it not magnetizing, move your magnet around. When I was developing this idea, I kind of got a little stumped right here. I'm like, what do I do with this piece here? I like the fact that it has excuse me, adhesive on it, because I wanted to make a standalone Flippie Explosion. I actually have 2 versions of this. This is the standalone version, and I have another version that's not standalone. But I kept thinking, what do I do with this here? Because I need to add my other flippies there to truly make it an explosion. But once again, you could leave it as it is and use this adhesive to put on a card, a layout, or whatever you're making. But there's a couple options you can do here. You can fold this over because you're not going to need this, or you can take scissors and cut this off, but you need to get rid of it. So I'm just going to fold it over like so, and then I'm going to take my flippy, because I need to create this row here, and do the very same thing, except I'm going to turn it this way so I can see it better. Apply it, You need to be able to fold it. That's too tight. Remember, you want to leave an opening there because you should be able to remove whatever you have on the inside, and that's good. Taking my last Flippy and doing the very same thing. Okay, and that closes. And there you have it. You have the completed Flippy that I showed you in the video. Now let's see how this closes. Remember, I have a magnet here and a magnet here. Now once again, I don't know if there's a right or a wrong way to closing this, but check it out. You have made a explosion Flippy. Now, if you decided to fold that Flippy over instead of cutting it off, you can use that to your benefit, because what I've done here was I simply pulled back what I folded, and you got to be careful because you have two folded together. I'm going to keep that one folded down, and when you pull it back, you actually have the adhesive on one of your Flippies. You could then take this and apply it to your card and use that to adhere your Flippie Explosion down. Now, the one I showed you in a video, I didn't do it. I cut mine off and used the larger pop dots that you could pick up at Tuesday morning, as a matter of fact, right now. And I've adhered a couple pop dots to the back of mine, and I used that to adhere it down to my card. The reason being, you need durability. You need for it to be stable because it's not heavy, but it has some weight to it, and you don't want your Flippie Explosion to come off. So you could try to do it that way, like so. I mean, you could, and that flips, or you can cut it off, add your pop dots, and secure it down that way. Now, you can make these Flippie Explosions in many different sizes, as long as you have a square, and perhaps rectangles will work as well, but as long as you have the right shape, you can make these in any size you like. Well, if you like this video, feel free to like it. If you decide to adopt this idea, please share links of your projects with me, for I would love to see what you create. As always, thank you for watching, and blessings.